BMW fanatic. Now, this is a very big and important topic, and I'm surprised it hasn't been talked about that much. If you left this undone, it's going to have catastrophic failure on your engine. It's an important part of your BMW, especially the N54, but the N55 as well. If you leave it not corrected and not fixed, it's going to have some negative effects on your car. There have been plenty of counts as far as with your injectors failing or leaking, and you're having a major misfire or an extreme fuel mixture issue that you have, and later down the road your engine just cuts out, right? It's just done for. Or you're running wide open throttle, you've been running on a fuel mixture issue, which is your injector, right? It's spitting out not the right amount of fuel, and then you have more spark, and then you throw E85 in there and all kinds of stuff. You're asking for an issue, I'm telling you. When I started having a weird kind of issue go on with my car, it was just stuttering and it was doing a few odds and ends things, right? I was never really having any direct misfires or anything else like that, but I would have some really rough starts, in the cold and of course in the warm. So I started looking further into it, and nothing was coming up on my scan tool that I had at the time. And this is why I harp big time as far as having a proper BMW scan tool, because guess what? I had fuel mixture codes that were coming up on my shadow faults because it wasn't turning into an actual physical SES light that was active. It was just kind of there in the background, right? It noticed something, and therefore it triggered it. So after I started looking at it, I'm like, oh, fuel mixture, let me look at this, let me look at that. So checking the history on that, that was on my car for just a few months, and I didn't even realize it, which was bad because I didn't have the proper scan tools at that time. So what I did was, after checking everything, right, I'm like, okay, well, I am on original injectors. Let's go ahead and replace those out. So I went off and I wanted to do all new, 6 new Index 12 injectors. I was gonna do, used ones or whatever and swap them in of certain indexes that I had, because I had some older indexes versus some a little bit newer indexes. But I'm like, you know what, I don't wanna mess with that hassle, because your injectors play a huge role in how your BMW operates. That is definitely critical and crucial that you just replace it new. It is expensive, right? Don't get me wrong, it is. So I bought all 6 new ones, Index 12s, and they're a lot more expensive now. But I'm telling you, if you are trying to add a lot more power to your car, or you notice that you do have some older indexes and you've never had them changed, if you're not having any indirect issues at the moment, I'm not telling that you have to go out and replace them right now, but just keep it in the back of your mind, right? Keep it in the back of your mind that you may have to replace your injectors, or you want to replace one bank with the Index 12 and leave the other bank with your normal ones. Regardless of what it is, right guys, you want to make sure that you treat that right away. Any kind of fuel mixture, any kind of injector, DME codes, anything else like that, please be sure to treat that. I do have the DIY on how to replace your N54 injectors. I'll post that up at the top. Check out that DIY so that way you guys can follow that and do it yourself. So it's very easy and anyone can do it as far as on this platform. Well guys, as simple as that is passing along the message is that check your codes. If you have fuel mixture issues, be sure to replace them. Diagnose your car even further, right? If it's tied to a certain bank, because you'll have a certain bank, if it's bank 1 or bank 2, right? Make sure to replace that bank and then go from there. Remanufactured injectors are not new injectors, right? They just clean them out, and that's not gonna really do really well. They're gonna end up failing. Again, they can't mark them as new. They're not brand new because they have internal filters and that you can't clean that out. So just kind of be leery as far as that out there. Definitely go with OE, BMW OE ones. I mean, you could go the VDO route. That is the manufacturer of the injectors. It just, of course, doesn't have the BMW logo on it. Well, I hope you have a great week. Be sure to like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll check you next time.